Hey y'all, I'm Briscoe Diggs and welcome to another episode of Real Talk. Today we have with us an actor, producer, and icon. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Darrell Stevens. Thank you, Darrell, for being here with us.
Of course, Briscoe. How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm running on fumes, but that's just my MO these days.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. We want to say congratulations to you on being a new dad.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. That's wonderful. She's precious, and yeah. So
yes, thank you.
So that's why you're running on fumes. I can understand that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I was always the one to give them back.
And Daddy doesn't have that option, honey.
No, you don't. But I think it's great. I think that's a wonderful thing. So yeah, congratulations on that. Now, also congratulations. Oh my God, this show is so funny. Be Positive on CBS and Paramount Plus as well.
Yes.
Gideon cracks me up. The whole show is great. So tell me how you felt about getting that. How many auditions did you have to go through? I'm kind of being nosy, but
this is a fun story actually.
Yeah.
So my daughter was born on August 31st, and we were in the hospital with her for I think 3 days because this is a lot of information, but she was cesarean born.
Okay.
And in that situation, you stay in the hospital for 3 days. So we were not sleeping. We were, with a newborn, she's basically up every couple of hours. She needs to eat a little bit, like a drop. She needs a drop to eat and then go back to sleep. So we were just in this haze of like, what's happening? We have a baby, we're not sleeping, but we're also in this hospital room, and I'm on one little cot, and he's on another little cot, and she's in a little bin between us, and a little, like, it looked almost like a bin for dishes, like a plastic, this weird little plastic.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Right. So finally we bring her home. So around the 3rd of September, we bring her home. I get an audition that day, I think on the 3rd that we brought her home. And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do this. We were already in the middle of COVID. So everything was, self-tape, right? So in the middle of the night, I get my best friend Stephen. You know Stephen. Another one of our mutual friends.
Yeah.
Stephen Bowman reads with me to do this audition, and I'm haven't slept. I'm sort of just out of my mind, and I think, oh, it's a Chuck Lorre show. I'm never gonna get this, but I do it anyway. And I'm in this space of like, I'm so tired, and basically. Having this kid was sort of me saying, well, I'm probably going to let the acting stuff go to the back burner for a little while, right? Just let me focus on this. Child, by the next Wednesday, my agents were calling saying, you're the choice. And I did not have a second callback. I put myself on tape. And then by the end of that day, I think they were saying, it's you.
Wow.
And I was like, So let me tell you. So the first couple of days I was on the lot, the Warner Brothers lot, because we ended up shooting, I think, in around September, 3rd or 4th week of September of the first. This is how the first season picked up. They cast us online, and then it was shooting. And so I get to the lot, and I'm like, this is a practical joke, right? Like someone's gonna come out and go, you're not really on this TV show. Psych. And I get there, and there's like a director's chair with my name on the back, and I'm like, this is a lot for a practical joke. Y'all are doing a lot. And it ended up being a real show, as you know. It ended up being a real show. So basically, and every time I tell a parent this, they say, yeah, babies bring good luck. They bring the fortune that the circumstances that you need to provide for them. They bring that with them. So I've been very blessed to be on this show for the last 2 years while she's been with us. Yes.
Right. It happened so fast. She's already 2.
She's 18 months. She's 18 months.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's why you go by the month. Yeah. Right. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, the show is so funny, and you have so many guest stars that are like
icons.
I mean, Linda Lavin. First of all, I have to tell you my really quick story. I used to work at a store in New York called Antique Boutique, and this is in the 80s, and it was about my Madonna time. That's a long story too.
Yes.
And Linda Lavin comes in with her daughter to shop, and I'm like, ah! In my mind, I was really cool,
Of course.
She was so nice. She was just nice, just a normal mother shopping with her daughter, and I never forget how sweet she was. So
Linda Lavin is my heart. Linda
Yeah,
Lavin is a series regular now. She and I were both guest stars on the first recurring guest stars on the first season, and for second season we're both series regulars. And she is it is such a magical thing to watch her take a script for a table, for the first table read, and just make she just spins magic. It just falls out of her mouth, and it's hilarious. And you believe everything. She is just amazing. We have Ben Vereen. We have
oh my God,
Jane Seymour. We have Hector Elizondo.
Yes. Anna Marie Horsford.
Anna Marie Horsford.
That was one of my first background jobs, working in a show, a movie, a little short. I don't even remember what the movie was, and it was her.
Yeah. She's and I've actually worked with her before. She's glorious always.
Yeah, I love it. I think Anna Lee, the lead,
Anna Lee Ashford, yes,
she should have been nominated for her role as Paula Jones.
Yes,
she disappeared into that character. She was
completely
so good. I was like, I kind of like double take a lot. I was just like, wait a minute,
prosthetic nose and everything.
Yeah, it was amazing. And that voice, she had it down pat. It was just so good. So
Anna Lee is brilliant. Both of our leads are actually genius at what they do.
Yeah, I love this show. I think it's hilarious. Just recently, I was watching season 2, episode 13. And it was about going out with the boss, and she was
yes. Some of
the lines that you had were hilarious. So hilarious.
Thank you.
So congratulations on being a series regular now. That's a good thing. It's like,
thank you.
They need you on that show. Let me just tell you.
Thank you.
Everyone is good.
It's all been just a bunch of blessings just lined up. Blessings. I feel very fortunate. So thank you.
Yeah, you're supposed to take them right now. I guess, you're thinking, when am I going to get sleep? But you don't need sleep right now. It's overrated. Right now. You look good without sleep too. So let's say
Thank you,
And also your character is 12 years younger than you are. So that black don't crack.
At least 12. Oh, that's right. No, like 17 years younger than me.
Yeah, 17. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to do the math. I'm not good at math. That's why I'm an actor. Yes, look at that.
Something crazy.
I always going for roles lately for being, I'll be 60 years old in June.
Work.
Yeah, I didn't do nothing. It was not yet. But when it comes down, when it's getting all goopy gop, I'm gonna do. Anyway, but I'm going up for grandfather roles, and I'm like, why am I not getting them? So it's a blessing. But you ever heard of makeup?
Yeah, Jane Seymour is playing an 80-year-old.
Look at her,
old lady.
Yeah,
she walks on the set looking like a supermodel, and walks onto the stage looking like somebody's crazy grandma.
Jane Seymour. It's crazy. I as a little kid, I was still my idol is Sammy Davis Jr. and his protege is Ben Vereen. And as a little kid, I used to say, I want to be Ben Vereen. Well, jump a few years ago, I was booked as his body double. I didn't realize that I was going to be it was a show called Making History. It got canceled, but the premise was that they were going back and forth to the future. So Ben Vereen's character dies alive. So there's all these dead Ben Vereens, and I had to play all of them. So they were.
Did you get to meet him?
Oh yeah, we got to do soft shoe. We had to get into a duffel bag.
Isn't he amazing?
Amazing. I cried. I actually went and I cried because he was so sweet and so nice, and we were both dressed up in a sailor suit doing soft shoe, and I had to get into a duffel bag with Ben Vereen. And they had my face, they had superimposed his face on mine because I had to play all these dead Ben Vereens. And so
he is one of the most special people I've ever met. Just his spirit. He carries with him so much love and just positivity.
Oh my God.
I had my phone on set and I wish that I'd recorded this, but the other time, I think one of the last days we worked, Hector Elizondo and Ben were sitting at a table, and Hector's showing Ben his like conga talent. He's beating on the table, and he's doing, and it's this way for the samba, and it's this way for the, and I'm just like, and I'm watching these two giants, in the industry, just sort of chatting and being musical together, and just being like, how is this my life? How do I get to
Yes.
look at this like up close? It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's great. I got to actually, I did take photos of Ben and I, well, somebody else did, of I in the sailor suits.
Yeah.
And I did a little video. I did a little video and I put it on YouTube on my Briscoe Diggs YouTube channel that nobody watches. It was just really for me because I wanted to remember this experience. And I was also standing in for LeVar Burton. So it was like Kunta Kinte and Chicken George.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
You are
yeah.
iconic for that.
Yeah, I have been so blessed. I haven't gotten any speaking roles now, but I have been blessed in the last 13 years to stand in for some of the most amazing actors in the world.
Yeah.
Black actors. And then one day, a friend of mine, Martin Metamoso, asked me to help him with one of his plays. And
Yeah.
I said, sure. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what he wanted. But basically, he wanted me to like help him stage manage kind of whatever and rehearsals. And so I decided to go. And I go to this little rehearsal room and everything's good. And first walks in Bonnie Root. And I'm like, Bonnie Root. And besides being an actor, I'm a big fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Stephen Bowen walks in. I'm like, what the shoot? And of course. Okay. And I don't know what's going on. And so Martin knows a lot of people from various
worlds.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I got to meet, some of my adult actors that are regular actors as well. So it was just a whole smorgasbord that was happening at this
Autumn, right? What is Autumn?
Yeah.
Autumn's porn name is Adam Ramsey.
Adam Ramsey
is his porn name. Yeah.
A sweetheart person. It's just like
he is a sweetheart.
And I didn't let him know, and I did with all of y'all. So then anyway, I'm cool. I'm like, okay, everybody's cool. And then walks in my head, I know this person's Darrell Stevens, but in comes Noah Nicholson. I'm like, in my head.
Not swinging his hair.
I know, right? Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Noah had, Noah's hair was another character completely.
Oh, it was, I think, crucial for that character.
And you were so sweet. And I'm not sure if you realized how you affected me. I'm a Latino actor, Afro-Latino actor. Noah's arc meant a lot to me. I'm HIV positive. I mean, it was all over. I was all over the place in my head when you walked in the door, and I'm like, how am I going to be cool? And I just let you know, I'm a big fan of you. And you were so
totally
sweet.
Cool. You were totally cool.
Yeah, you was. Yeah, thank you. I try to be. I like I said, I worked with a lot of people. Diana Ross, Madonna. Anyway, so back in the day. So I learned how to be cool. I learned how to be, keep it in my head. And so, but yeah, you're very iconic. You meant a lot to the Black and brown gay people. Seriously, your character, Noah, was rare. Yeah. Still is. Nowadays, they're coming out with more, we're getting more and more, but your character at the time was so rare, and being a lead in a show and showing butch gay men and effeminate gay men and in our culture and talking about these things. So anyway, how did you feel when you got that role of Noah, and did you really realize what he was going to be, or all those characters, the show period, was going to mean to our community?
We had a sense that we were doing something special early on, but there was really no way to anticipate how the culture would accept or receive the show, right? So we thought, yes, no one's seen this before, and yes, we're playing these characters that seem kind of familiar, but also completely new for us, right? Like it's in terms of like Golden Girls and Sex and the City and Girlfriends
and Queer as Folk with hardly any people of color.
right. But with the first three, with Golden Girls and Girlfriends, it felt like, oh yeah, there's four friends. One's kind of fast, one's very smart. There's always sort of this. So we were sort of slipping into those archetypes, but also doing it in a way that was completely insane and dressed crazy and fabulous and just.
Oh my God.
And I think one of the magical things about that show is that we actually all of us became really good friends, and you could kind of see the love.
On the show. Yes.
So yeah, we didn't know how the culture would receive us, but when I got that job, I actually got I booked the role of Dwayne, the store clerk.
Oh, okay.
I was not cast as Noah.
Oh, wow.
Noah was supposed to be played by Christian Vincent, who ended up playing Ricky.
Right. Wow, interesting.
Yeah, and then Patrick Ian Polk, the show's creator, rethought it. I think it was probably my hair that had him thinking,
oh my God.
Do something with all that hair.
Right, that hair. I loved every little incarnation. I mean, the hairstyles on that show were amazing. Did you have any input in that, or it was just?
No, child. I had no input. I would walk out of the my trailer sometimes being like, they're gonna beat me up as soon as I step outside because this is crazy. But it really helped inform who the character was for me, because I think that when you put somebody's hair in those knots, those little Bjork knots, there's actually a word for it, like a Caribbean word, like bintu. Oh, yeah. I forget what's the word. I forgot,
but I know. But yeah.
Anyway, those Caribbean knots.
I know what you're talking about.
And Ugg boots and midriff tops. And
right.
This is. You have to own all of this. You can't walk around feeling like, oh, I'm insecure about this. No, bitch, you are in these clothes and you got to work it. So that all really helped inform who Noah was for me. So we love Noah. I mean, it's like I said, nowadays you see more characters that are authentically that way, because at one point before Noah's Ark, at least in my mind, characters that were free and flamboyant or effeminate or whatever were always just a blip, like they would hear, there's nothing wrong with those characters. I would be auditioning for those too, but I'm just saying, Noah took over. He was the lead character. The show is called Noah's Ark. So that was something that was rare, and it was really appreciated. It's like, go, because we're all, like you said, they're all different kinds of gay people. Again, it's not just one type. And to have an openly and fearlessly effeminate man be the romantic lead and sort of, it really did challenge a lot of people. I think that was crucial for the culture. I think that it really had people thinking, because prior to that we had characters. We had Omar, God rest Michael K. Williams. Yes. Oh my God. On The Wire. I was his body double too. Go ahead. No kidding. I just throwing names out. Stand-in. Sorry, go ahead. We had Keith on 6 Feet Under. 6 Feet Under. Right. All these very like macho black men. It almost felt like in order for a black gay character to be acceptable or seen in a way that wasn't funny or a joke, like if not a punchline, he had to be hyper masculine. Right. And so what Noah did, at least in my mind, is he sort of pulled that back and said, no, he doesn't have to be the joke. He could be effeminate and fabulous and not be the joke. Right. That's also an option for us. So, and I think that what we're seeing now, thank goodness, is a lot of different, and the kids now are, I know, right? Are centuries beyond where we were 20 years ago. But the kids have figured out now that gender and gender expression and sexuality, all of these things exist on a spectrum, right? And I think that Noah was really sort of championing that in his own way before it was part of the conversation. Right, before it was, exactly. You were the blueprint. Blueprint. Thank you. There you go. Thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for. The blueprint to like, oh, okay. Because I'm sure that when Noah, first of all, y'all did the movie, Jumping the Broom. Yeah. And then you came back with the Corona Chronicles, which was so good for us at the time. We needed that. Yeah, I needed that, didn't we? I needed it. I needed to know that all of y'all were okay, and the way y'all did that, it was just like, that was the logistics of that was something else, I'm sure. Patrick's imagination. Oh, he's amazing. He's because I wouldn't have come up with all that. All the the little games they were playing via Zoom for the party, and they dressed up. It was like all of it was via Zoom. I mean, to really sort of highlight what was going on during that period in the pandemic. And I was so glad to see those characters again. It was like, me too. Me too. So good, so good. So first of all, I see your hair is gone now or whatever. Did you, was that, because I could grow a little bit, but I'm doing them little rollers. But you got all your hair grows back. So was that a choice, like for each character, you change it up a little bit? Because I see you got your little. No, honestly, it's it's easy. I don't have time to be dealing with my
Right.
hair, right? Like,
Mhm.
especially now as a dad, like it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You worried about her hair now.
yes, I'm worried about her hair now. So I'll cut my hair once or twice, once every 2 weeks or once a
Mhm.
week, and then I'm not thinking about it ever again, right? It's just
Right,
like I got 30 minutes to deal with this, and then get
right.
on with feeding
Yeah,
somebody and put somebody to sleep, or
right.
So yeah, and I think I also probably cut my hair short after. I think it was after the Noah movie. I was like, okay, I think the curls have locked me into
Right, I
this
think that's
character.
mhm,
People are
mhm.
associating me, Darryl, with Noah because of all the
Right,
curls. And so I think at some point I was like, okay, I gotta just cut it off and
right.
let them see a new person, because it was, there are a few years there I wasn't working much because there are
Right,
all
all
kinds
the
of reasons why
reasons.
that happens. But I, in my mind, had decided people are just associating me with that one character, and
Right.
they're not seeing me yet as
Mhm,
anybody else. So I felt like I
mhm.
had to sort of physically change the way I looked
Right.
to get new work.
You had to make sure when I met you, I was like, wasn't gonna go, oh Noah, because I know Daryl, I know your name, I know Daryl Stevens, so it's like, why, do that? But I loved that character, and I also like the fact. I know we're gonna move on to something else, but I love the fact that y'all dealt with HIV and AIDS in
Oh
a
yeah.
way about dating. Even for a long time, I myself, even being half my life being positive, I went through a point in my life where I felt like I can't date. I'm damaged goods. Nobody's gonna
Mm,
want me. Blah blah blah.
mm.
And then you see something like Noah's Ark, and then it's like, well, it's kind of reflecting back what I'm thinking, but yet, oh my gosh, okay, I could one day
Yeah,
I could do that. I could date. I'm like undetectable. I'm living my life healthy. I'm like
yeah.
back to my high school weight. Those things that you think in your mind is like, what, just all these excuses that you're doing. Just live your life, and that will come when it's time to come. But you're not damaged goods, and that kind of that helped.
That was the crucial message for that. And
Yes,
I love that storyline. I thought that was so well done and
mhm,
so necessary for us
for
at that
sure.
time, because we
Save
were talking about
lives.
save lives for
Hmm.
sure.
Hmm.
Just and the Black AIDS Institute, Phil Wilson's Black AIDS Institute was one of the first funders of the pilot version of Noah's Ark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Oh, nice.
we've been involved with the HIV AIDS education and awareness has been central to that story, to that show from
Yes.
its inception.
Yeah. Oh,
So it was always very important to Patrick and I think all of us
right.
to tell those stories correctly and to be as responsible and informative without being too preachy.
No, right.
Yeah,
Hmm. That's how you get the message across.
yeah,
I know it's also, you're getting the message across, but it's also entertainment. So you have to also, like balance that, which
yeah,
was great. And also
yeah.
okay, I'm gonna throw myself under the bus. I
Do it.
have, don't you tell him, but I've told you before, I have a huge crush on Wilson Cruz.
You have told me that
It's an
before.
innocent little crush. I met him
Are you
one time.
are you watching Star Trek Discovery?
I started watching, but I had to stop because I was so busy. I want to watch it in like a marathon.
Okay,
I'm so
same.
ready.
Listen. I started this season, and
Mhm.
because of my lovely child,
Yeah.
she's now walking slash running around the house. I
Uh,
literally don't have the bandwidth. Like I'm
right,
so
right.
frazzled all the time, and I really want to focus on that because that's a
Yeah.
story that I appreciate. And Wilson's work
Mhm.
on the show is so good. But yes, he's so
Yes.
good on that show. Hugh
So good on
Culber,
that
come
show.
on, doctor.
I loved last season, and I just can't wait to see where they go with that
Yes,
storyline. And
yes,
like I said, he's been amazing his whole entire career, and he's a
he
great
has.
activist. And so yeah, it's innocent. I'm half Boricua, Puerto Rican, so it's like my Puerto Rican idols, So he's one of them. And hi Wilson. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
Hey,
Wilson.
how's my hair? No. So anyway, uh, so let me ask you, being a new dad, how has your outlook on life changed a bit? I'm sure that your focus, the way you feel about the world has changed just a little bit, or maybe a lot, because
Mm,
you're a dad.
yeah, yeah. I think that there's a new level of patience that I just sort of have with everybody. I
Mhm.
understand now that I think particularly you understand this when you're dealing with other parents of young kids.
Mhm.
Things happen. You can't take anything personally. You don't take things personally. Like, for example, I had a play date scheduled with this actress, singer, friend of mine, Anastasia McPherson, who's got a beautiful son. And we had a play date scheduled last week, and she called or she texted and said, he just fell asleep, so we got to reschedule. And I was like, great. Daryl 3 years ago would have been like, girl, I changed my life around for this day, you know?
Right.
But now I'm like, girl, I got it. You got a baby. I got it, baby. Girl, it's all good. I think you just learn that things are not. I think what a baby teaches you is it's really not about you. It's not about you. And as actors, I think that we probably have a tendency to make things about us or take things personally. And, you know, if you've been working in this industry as long as I have, you learn that you know, when you don't get a role that you thought you should have gotten, it probably isn't. It's not about you. It's probably about what they were seeing and what they were looking for. So, you know, but on this with a baby, it's a whole new level of it's not about you, because really it's not about you. It's really not about you. Somebody else is the focus, and somebody else is the priority here. So
right.
I haven't been to the gym in 2 years.
Child, yeah, I don't use a gym anymore either. I know that it's not because I have a baby. It's just I don't even want to go in there. But I do it at home. Yeah,
we have one in the garage. I can't even get out there. Like we outfitted the garage because Gold's gym was looking. I walked in there one day. I did walk in there thinking I was gonna work out. Nobody had on a mask, and I was like, y'all got me effed up. Somebody would have tell these people. Yeah. So I was like, nope, cancel my membership. Goals, Jim.
I did the same thing. I canceled mine too. I'm like, no. And now there's no mask at all anymore in the gym. They just passed that. I'm not sucking in all that air.
Child, no, not me.
I don't even yawn in the public bathroom. don't yawn. You're sucking it. No. I'm like, I gotta go pee. No yawning. I don't know why I brought that up. That's kind of weird. My OCD is crazy.
It's real though. That's real.
I want to talk about one of your iconic roles was on Private Practice.
Yeah.
You played a transgender woman.
Yes, Jane Finch.
She was amazing. How was it playing that role? And now that you look back on it, that was a before.
Well, I'll tell you what that was. For me, that was one of those roles where I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I have the opportunity to play this role, because this is such a meaty character. Right. I love that I get to really transform in this character. And that was, I think, God, 2011. It was 2012.
Yeah. It was like almost 10 years ago.
If not 12 or 13 years ago. Like it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while. I can't count. You know, like I said earlier.
Anyway, it was years and years ago. And to this day, it's one of those performances when I happen upon it, I'm like, oh, I was in this. Like the director, I felt like the director got me and knew exactly how to get what he needed out of me. It was one of those things. I read the script and I was like, and then Katie Strickland, who played the
oh yeah, she's so good.
The doctor, and what's his name? Ben.
Oh yeah,
the other doctor.
My mind went blank, but he was the psychiatrist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both of those actors were so generous and so lovely. So it was one of those situations where everything sort of lined up. And you know, I felt I was very proud of that work. Then, cut to a few years later, I personally learned that cisgender actors should not be playing transgender roles. And I was so proud of that work. And I had a couple of trans girlfriends at the time who I was expecting to be like, you were so good in that. They just didn't say anything. And I was like, I wonder what that's about. And now I understand. Now it makes complete sense. I see myself in that role and I think that's ridiculous. That should be a trans woman.
Right.
But at the time it was some work I was very proud of. And
I think that as time evolved, because at least at the time, of course, you know, there are trans women of color that can play that, actors of color that can play that role. But at the time, at least they got a queer man to play the part instead of a straight man, because you would probably understand transgender people more because you have them in your life. But I understand how they would feel, but we can't erase the great work that was done before the changes happened.
Well, I'll tell you the way I look at it. The way I look at it is once we learn, it's our responsibility to stick to what is actually supposed to be happening.
Right, exactly.
And I was offered a role playing a trans character, and I had to turn it down because there was, at that point I was like, no, I know better now. And so
yeah, right.
And I think that this is a little bit complicated to say, but I think that one of the reasons that at that point cisgender actors were playing trans actors is because the show's creators, or the people who were running these shows, needed for the audience to recognize this is not a woman, this is a man who's now living as a woman. I think that there was because I was big back then. You see me in that like Chanel suit, and I'm like, I look like a linebacker, right? Yeah, and I think that was intentional. I think that there was a reason that I wasn't wearing flowing stuff. Everything was kind of, hugging the male physique. I think that was intentional. I think that there has been, for a long time, in order for cisgender people to feel safe, they have to be able to identify trans folks on site, right?
On site, right.
And a lot of trans folks, you don't clock.
Right. Absolutely.
So I think that that's what's changed. I think that we're understanding now that no, trans women are not men who are dressed up as women.
Right.
They're women.
They're women.
So get the trans woman to play the trans woman.
I remember
yes.
The first time in my memory, I saw, it was ER, and Alexandra Billings played a trans person, and she was trans. The storylines were problematic back then, kind of weird.
My storyline on Private Practice was problematic. I mean, I would say that, but the end of that episode, it got a little dicey.
It got a little, yeah. But I was just talking about how you fall into your characters is what I was trying to get at. I don't want people to think that I'm saying cis men should play trans characters. No. But I was just saying that as an actor,
I think that we're clear on that now. Yeah. Right, thank you so much for that.
Yeah. As an actor, you fell into the role and you did them a service, because at the time they were not hiring transgender women to play authentic parts. Right. So yeah.
Aside from Alexandra Billings, who's been doing
she was the first. I think she was the first
40 years,
network TV, and then she did. But she always had it's so interesting. She was actually here I go again. I actually, when I first moved to LA, I took her extensive course, or whatever how you say it. Intensive. Thank you so much. See, it takes an iconic actor to get. I took her course for a weekend.
I follow her. I know what she
was amazing. She taught me so much in just a weekend. So I had, we stayed friends throughout that time. Yeah, she's been.
Who's great friends with her is Stephen Bowman.
Oh, I had no idea. See how the world is.
He did her makeup on a film, and they got on like.
I can imagine those two.
Yes.
Yeah, Stephen is one of the most. Oh God, his heart is so big.
So big. And he's so funny. And I think she.
Oh my God.
She gets his sense of humor in a way that
she
really
cracked me up
clicked.
too. Some of the stuff that we did when we first met was just, I was on the floor laughing, but she got me out of myself. She got me to open up. And as an actor, as an adult actor, I was able to open up, because a lot of people were telling me that I was, and this is what's helping me right now, being my authentic self, because I see you playing gay characters.
Yeah.
You were telling me that I was a little bit too, can you play straight? Well, do I have to? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like this.
Honey,
it's just,
for those of us who have been around.
I'm sorry.
For those of us who've been around for 20, 30 years, we all remember casting directors saying, could you butch it up a little bit? Could you not be so? That was the thing.
Yeah.
That was totally a thing. And now we get to walk in there and be exactly who we are, or adjust it according to the character.
Right.
But we're not trying to hide it anymore, which is the thing.
There was something on your reel. You were playing, I can't remember, but you and another actor we're talking about how your boyfriend might be cheating or not. You were at a table.
Oh, yeah.
That your character was a little bit more on the butch side, and it wasn't like it didn't seem like you were trying. That was acting, and it was very good. So
thank you. DTLA was the name of that show. That was was the show where my hair was short. I had a beard. I was in a business suit every day. It was very like, look, this is not Noah. This is Lenny. So see a new person. And yes, Lenny was very much. He was not the most scrupulous character. He was a little
Right, he
bit,
wasn't really.
he had some dark energy about him, but I'm really proud of that work as well,
Mhm.
because I was an executive producer on that show, and I was helping to write the
Great.
scripts, and I was doing a lot of like background stuff. I was typing up scripts the night before and sending them to the actors, and so I was very busy.
Mhm.
And what I learned on that project is when you're not sitting in your trailer focusing on what you need to be doing, but you know what needs to happen in the scene, you actually can do. Sometimes you do better work.
Okay.
When you're like frazzled and you don't have time, we got to get this scene in 15 minutes. Can you do it? Yeah, start the camera. You just run on set and do it. And you take, somehow being too busy or being like overwhelmed, it freed me up in a way that I didn't realize was actually very helpful.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the fact that you're writing, producing, besides your acting. So you're taking like an actor role in your career, decide to like create stuff for yourself, and that's
Yeah.
really good. And it's also I like the fact that you play queer characters, but just not necessarily always I'm gay. It's just the character happens. Oh, okay. Oh, he's gay. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I love that, because as a person of color, we need to see more examples of an actor doing those kinds of roles and being successful at it on network television, number 3 on the call sheet and everything. I mean, I'm just assuming stuff, but it's just, I'm fanning out a little bit, but also I'm very proud of you.
Thank you very much.
It really means so much to have, let me tell y'all something. Y'all don't know. Darrly and I, we haven't seen each other a lot, but the times that we do see each other is very nice. Darrly is very, very open and to his fans and to people that care about his career. And I just want to say that you've been very, very generous with your time and your heart.
Thank you, Prisco.
It means a lot, because when I first met you, I have met just a few, not many, that have they say don't meet your heroes and meet you.
Yeah.
I have not been disappointed that much. You would think in Los Angeles. That's
a blessing.
No, it has been a blessing.
That's a blessing.
I even met someone, I'm not going to throw the name out there right now, Jamal Sims. I met him and I was drinking at the time. And I'm just throwing this out there for y'all. I didn't remember. And then I had an audition and I mentioned it to him and he says, Briscoe, we hung out the other day. Blah, blah, blah. And that was the day I stopped drinking. So yeah, because I'm not a big drinker anyway. So, but I had a martini at a party and he was there with his, at the time, husband. And I remember the event, but I didn't remember the situation that we hung out all night. Wow. Obviously I didn't get that role, but it wasn't because of that. And I told Jamal about that and he was very gracious. So even when a situation like that it helped open my eyes, because it was someone that I admired that was telling me, oh, it's okay. It's okay. We all have faults. We all have, and it wasn't like I said, I wasn't a big drinker, but I don't need it. I wasn't like, it's something that I'm allergic to alcohol. So I guess that's what the problem was, I guess. So, but yeah, I have been lucky that way. And I don't know why I went on to that story. It just happened to just.
But listen, what I want to say to you about that is that you carry with you that I think that all these people that you are meeting recognize. And so the reason that they're responding to you in kind or with kindness is because you show up with a heart. You know what I mean? I think it's very clear when you introduce yourself to people that you are a good person and that we should all, and we feel safe around you. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I understand that. Yeah. It's like I keep all my craziness inside until I meet you like maybe 3 or 4 times. Then I'm like, hey girl, I'm always myself.
But even that is sweet. It's always sweet. There's never that weird, a lot of people have dark energy. You don't have that energy.
Oh yeah. Oh no. No, yeah. I left that in the 80s.
Well, honey, let's hope we all did.
Yeah. So let me ask you, is there anything besides, because I know you're busy being a new dad and be positive. So is there anything on the horizon that you might be doing coming up, or are you just focused on what's happening right now?
I'm working on some scripts. So that's sort of where my focus is during this. Let's hope it's a hiatus and not an indefinite sort of unemployment. Right. Let's hope that there's a 3rd season of Be Positive.
I think it will be. I think the show is so funny. It has to be.
Let's hope. But anyway, in the interim, until we find out, or even after we find out, I have a couple of scripts that I'm working on. There's one is a series for a new streaming site that I probably shouldn't even be talking about, but it involves Rodney Chester. So I'll just say that. Rodney Chester, who plays Alex on Noah's Ark. And the other is a high school show, which is very exciting.
Okay, I'm sorry. So one of my roommates. I'm in the studio downstairs, so I'll take it. You can come in.
Are you starting it?
No, we're almost done.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be done in like 5 minutes at the most. Hey y'all, welcome to Real Talk. See, it's real talk. We're really doing something.
Real.
And you said earlier, you said the baby or something else might interrupt, but that didn't happen.
Nothing's happened. I haven't heard the construction or the baby
none of it.
Since we started. Yeah.
My roommate Sim, they let me use because they live here as well. Because I live in a great environment. I live in we call it the queer compound. Where
I love it.
Yeah, there's like we have a nice studio here. We have a recording studio. We have all this stuff.
A collective, a queer collective.
Exactly. Yes. And we all have something to offer each other in a way. It just happened that way.
That's
so
beautiful.
I'm really, really, really happy where I live. And it opened the opportunity for me to be able to do my show from my home. So I really, it's happy. I'm gonna I have a little banner that's coming, and I have the flag that I have it upstairs. We're gonna do all that little stuff later, but yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about myself. It should be about Darryl Stevens, y'all. Anyway,
it's a conversation, and we can both chime in.
But anyway, I know that you're very busy, and I'm gonna let you go. I just really appreciate that you came on to Real Talk and spoke about Noah and Gideon. That's gonna be picked up. Be positive, y'all.
Be positive about that.
Yeah, be positive about that, y'all. Oh no, wait a minute. My name is B, and I'm positive.
I'll check that out.
I know, right? I was like, you gotta laugh at it, okay? You gotta laugh. It's like I said, half my life I cried enough. Actually, I didn't really cry. I'm gonna talk to my therapist later on about that. But anyway, Darryl Stevens, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure, Briscoe.
You made my Saturday special. I really appreciate it. And I also want to tell my audience out there, if y'all have a dream in your heart and a plan, it's never too late. Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? My old ass is still on TV. So.
I know you on TV. looking 25.
Looking 30s. So late 30s. It could be fair, but
you have a great
very generous
weekend.
Thank you, honey.
And yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next with Mr. Darryl Stevens.
Thank you, Briscoe.
Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We're done. Thank you so much, Darryl.
You're so welcome.
You are the best. Did I go too much? Like, Darryl, thank you. This is just me. I had a little bit of coffee, but not too much. So
no, it was good. It felt like a very genuine conversation.
Good. That's what I wanted. I wanted to have a real talk conversation, not something, like forced. And like I said, oh girl, how much you make? I hate that. I'm gonna let you go. But when I was doing my little research on my guests, it's always Diana Ross network or whatever. I'm like, why do people care? I don't give a frick. It's not helping me. And I'm sure. And how do they find out this information? I know they probably correct. It's all fake, probably, but
it's all wrong. When I was bartending at the Roosevelt Hotel, they had one of the people I worked with looked me up and said, "Oh, your net worth is $1 million something dollars." I was like, "Bitch, if my net worth was $1 million, would I be bartending in this motherfucker?"
For real?
No, girl.
It's crazy, I know, right? Shoot. Anyway, $1 million don't go far lately. Anyway, no, I'm just joking.
It goes further. Than what I had when I was working at the Roosevelt Hotel.
So anyway, Darryl, I'm gonna let you go because I know you got stuff to do, and
yes,
I know maybe you get a few winks in. I don't know.
No,
it's still early, so I don't think.
Yeah.
So we did it in less than an hour. That's pretty good because I can talk, child. Look at my wallpaper, Wentworth Miller. I named my cat Wentworth Miller.
God, he was great.
Yeah, this is the old picture of him, but
he looks so white there.
I know it was because of the shiny. Yeah. My nephew, he looks like my nephew, but my nephew's only 13. My dad took a picture of my nephew, and I didn't have my glasses on. I'm like, what is that hat? And I realized it was his hair.
Oh,
big.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So he's still the baby. He's just turned 14. And I remember the day he was born, and now he's 6'3". Oh, I have two nephews that play football. Those guys are like 6'8", 300 pounds. I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh
I remember when
God.
they were, first of all, they were little like this for a second. And then they were like this. It's like, that damn baby is only 6 months old. So. But they're both, one plays for the Baltimore Ravens. I think no, is that right? I don't know much about football. And the other one just graduated.
I know less.
So I went to one of those games and I was like, no, I don't like football. Anyway, don't tell them. But anyway, this is not being recorded, so don't never tell them. But anyway, Darryl, you have a great weekend. Thank you
too,
so
Briscoe.
much. And I hope to see you soon and in person one of these days. By the way, I know this is way in advance, just in case. My birthday is June 1st. I'm turning 60, and we're gonna have a little pride party here in the courtyard or whatever. So if I don't know what day, but sometime during June, and I'll throw the date out there way before. And if you're free, you can just make a drive by, come by and say hi and whatever.
Yeah, let me know.
We'll see. I'll let you know because I know you're busy, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right, honey.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right.
Talk
you have
soon.
a great weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.